Hi, Eve here. Today we are going to talk about resources that we may have but we do not really appreciate or we do not see that will eventually help us make transitions when we need to make them. In life, as we know, we will always have to have transitions, whether we call them change, whether we call them growth, it is all transition. And I'm speaking about this because I have had experience with transition a lot. Currently, I am transitioning career wise from sales and marketing to psychology, which is an extremely new field. I have no experience in it, but I think so far I've done pretty well. I've gone back to class. I'm doing a diploma in counseling psychology. But that aside, I have learned that you have to speak up and you have to let people know that this is what I want, this is where I'm going, how can you help me? But the other thing also, I have transitioned in terms of family life. And if you remember, I moved out from my home last year. And that transition was possible because I had resources that I utilized. So, what are these resources that I have used that you may find applicable to you? And our conversations, as usual, are about ordinary things that make the extraordinary changes in our lives. Small things, yeah? So, the first one is networks. And when I say networks, I don't want you to think like big things, knowing the who is who. Networks just means who are the people that you know and who are the people that know you. And I want you to focus more on who are the people that know you and how do they know you. Do they know you as a hardworking person, as a kind person, as a disciplined person, a committed person? Or do they know you that as a person who cannot be relied on, a person if you call them for something, they will not help you out? Because I've learned in life, you think you will not need people or certain people, and then you find that those are the people that you need. Ever thought that umepita mahali there's a wachi and you don't think you will need them, and then later you're like, oh my god, this is the guy. Yeah. So what the lesson I'm bringing to you today is treat everybody with respect. And please know that everyone is important. Everybody is. And if, for example, you are in an 8 to 5 job, please think about it this way. That client that you're not serving well might be the same client that you might need 20 years from now, 5 years from now, 1 month from now. And from a sales perspective, it has helped me a lot because, even if you change companies, you find the same distributors, you find the same supermarket managers and supervisors, you find the same sales managers. It's a rotation everywhere. So what I can tell you is everybody is important. Do not simplify or minimize anyone. The other thing that has helped me a lot during my transition periods is learning how to ask for help. Saying, I need help. This is what I need. And sometimes it will require you to ask even the one person that you're feeling afraid to ask. And maybe that you're thinking that other person cannot help you, but if you really ask for it, they might not give you exactly all that you need, but they will give you enough to get you from point A to point B. The other thing is clarity. For clarity, as I always say, you need to go to the nitty-gritties. It's like how people say if you want to save 100,000 shillings, that is a goal, yes, and you have clarity of 100,000, but clarity goes beyond the 100,000 number. You have to go and say, okay, let me break down this 100. I want to save it in 6 months' time. Fine. How much per month? Okay, where will these resources come from? Do I have to have a standing order of this date, or do I need to open another account? Am I going to save in a money market fund? Clarity, it helps your direction, because as they say, you can go fast but you're going nowhere. So be clear, sit down, write. I write all the time. It is crazy. I write everywhere all the time. Like I write because the more I'm writing down, I'm thinking it through. I write today, I write tomorrow. It may change, but it gives me clarity because it just brings out what is more important to me now, where I may have done mistakes, where I did very well. It helps a lot. Then, what is the other thing? Our skill set. And you're wondering, okay, skill set, for example, If you need to learn Excel, please learn it. If you need to learn negotiation skills, please learn that. If you need to learn listening skills, please learn that. Because skills are the things that deliver. It is through the skills that you can execute. Let's talk about work. If you had the education but you don't have the skills, then it becomes a problem. If you have the marriage, for example, but you don't have the skills, then it becomes a problem. Then the last one, I want to speak about experiences, because I've figured if we really sat down and thought through our experiences, especially the painful ones, they will really, really push us to where we want to be. And I speak this because for psychology, I knew I wanted to do psychology, but I didn't know it was psychology before. I didn't know it. Because I love speaking about day-to-day issues. I love, and sometimes people would come and ask me, if I'm going through this, what do you advise? So I knew I wanted to do this thing, but I didn't know how to go about it until I went through difficulty. Then I realized this is where I want to impact people in, or this is how I want to make the impact to other people. So you see, it came from my pain of going through a difficult relationship and going through abuse that I learned. This is where I want to work. This is what I want to do. And now, it is said you teach what you know. So I can speak about it because I have been through it. I have navigated past it, through it, past it. I have navigated it. I know the ups and the downs. Of course, I am still navigating to some extent. But when I speak about it, I speak about it from a point of authority, knowledgeability, but most importantly, from a point of healing as well. Because also you don't want to have gone through past experiences that are hurtful, that you haven't healed from. You will not be able to get through them or help other people navigate through them if you yourself have not healed from it. So of course healing is important. But if you look at all those bad things, those painful things you've gone through, those ones, if you leverage on them, like even if you have failed at work, or maybe you had a presentation and you did really, really bad, but if you leverage, if you pivot on that fail, for example, it helps you move forward. So in brief, those are the things that have really, really helped me. And I hope that transition does not scare you. You will transition, but you focus on the right things. Don't get stuck at your own, nilikuwa nataka nani anisaidie na hakunisaidia, So what if they didn't help you? Who said it is a must that they help you? It is not a must. You'd have felt better if they did, but it is not a must. It is not. So you take what is the ones who are willing, and those that are not, it's also okay. So that's it. See you next time.